Thank you very much. Once welcome you again to MathZone African Motives. So we are today going to talk about marketing management N4, which is a course and it is also a subject. We know very for sure that it's a core subject under marketing management. So we are still under preparations of our upcoming test one. So let us going to be together to do this revision so that it can help us to prepare very well for our coming tests and as well as for final exam. So with make sure that you are going to share with those who are interested and make sure that you're going to hit the subscription button. So without wasting much time, let us go through the questions. Let us go through the questions and see how we are going to treat them. So the first question says, explain the following principle of marketing concepts. Explain the following principle of marketing concepts. Now 1.1.1 is consumer orientation. 1.1.1 is consumer orientation. So with consumer orientation, this is what we call employees are trained to be aware of consumer needs. This is where we are taking consumer needs into consideration. This is where we are saying in the eyes of consumer, the employee is the business. So make sure that you are going to treat customers as kings and queens. Consumer orientation. You push the customers first. So now let us go to our answer book and try to answer question 1.1. This 1.1.1. So we are saying employees, let's try to make it to be seen. We are saying employees are trained to be aware of consumer needs, to be aware of consumer needs. So when you are aware of consumer needs, it means you are going to be able to satisfy those needs. That is when you are consumer oriented. You're putting customers first. So in the eyes of consumer, the employee is the business. In the eyes of consumer, the employee is the business. The employee is the business. That is that. When the consumer sees the business, when he sees the employee, he sees someone who can be able to satisfy his or her needs. So that is why you as an employee, make sure that you're going to treat your customers as kings and queens. You are going to attend to them. You are going to make sure that you're going to put them first before everything, making sure that their needs are attended. So now let's move to 1.12. 1.12. Move on to 1.12. Let's attend to that question of 1.12. So 1.212, it talks about now objective orientation. So it's all about objective orientation. That is 1.1, 1.12. So it's objective orientation. So with objective orientation, now we simply saying the main objective of business, the main objective of the business, the main objective of the business is to make profit. Is to make profit through customers' needs satisfaction. Through customer needs satisfaction. So we are talking about now profit seeking organization. Talking about profit seeking organization which strive for highest possible profit. Profit seeking organizations strive for the highest possible profit within a certain span of time. Within certain span of time. So that is when we talk of what? The objective orientation. So that is whereby now we are talking about the organization of the business objective, which is to make what? Profit, through making sure that they are going to attend to the needs of customers. So the profit organizations, that is the bottom line. The bottom line is to make sure that they are going to get what? The highest profit. They are mainly looking for profit. So they are different with customer orientation. The customer orientation, they first to put the customers first. The profits come as a rewards thereafter. So that is that. So now let us move on to 1.13. 1.13. So 1.13 now talks about system orientation. It talks about system orientation. System orientation. System orientation. So with system orientation, this is where by now we are talking about all different departments of business. All different departments of business. Departments of business form an integrated system. Form an integrated system So we are talking about where different departments are going to work together towards one common goal. We can talk about the purchasing department, we can talk about production department, we can talk about financing department, public relations department. So all these departments come together to reach one common goal. So that is what we're saying, all departments of business form an integrated system. So in an organization, we know that we have different departments. So we can talk about the purchasing department. We know that the purchasing departments, these departments need one another. For a purchasing department to go and buy raw materials for production takes place, it means that there is a budget that is needed. So the purchasing department must meet with what? With the financial department. So as to see if the raw materials that are needed for the production to take place, the budget is there for him or her to buy those materials. We can talk about again the production department. The production department can consult the marketing department about the needs of the customers, so that the products that they're going to produce, they are going to be the products that are needed in the market. So it means with the help of the marketing department, who goes out to make out research, that can help what the production departments to produce the products that are needed. So that is that when you're talking about the integrated system of all different departments. So they need one another. That is a system orientation. So that is why we are saying that will do what? That strives for specific objectives. That strive for specific objectives. That strive for specific objectives, attitudes, and ideas. Attitudes and ideas. So that is that. So now we move on to another question, which is 1.2. Now we come to 1.2, which says the term market means different things to different people. So now they are saying state specific characteristics of markets. State specific characteristics of markets. So now we want what the characteristics of markets. We want the characteristics of market. So that is 1.2. That is 1.2. Characteristics of markets. So the first characteristic that we can talk about is that all of them consist of people. All of them consists of people. All of them consist of people. We can talk about consumer market. We talk about consumer market. We can talk about even the business market as well. As we are saying, all of them consist of what? Of people. All of them consist of people. So when you're talking of consumer markets, you're talking about those people who buy products and services for personal use, the end users. They buy products for personal use, for consumption. But business market, they buy products or produce products for resale. But all of them consist of people. Now we are coming to another point. The people or companies have certain needs that should be fulfilled. So we are saying the people or companies have certain needs. Have certain needs that should be fulfilled. That should be fulfilled. That should be fulfilled. So that is that. So people or companies have the needs. So for us to say this is a market, this is whereby there are peoples. The market, for us to say this is a market, one of the characteristics means that there are people, and those people, they must be with what? With needs. And those needs of those people needs to be satisfied. Also, to say this is a market, this is whereby those people need what? They have money. There should be what? Money. So that it's going to be exchanged with the needs that are provided to them. Hope we are together. Hope we are together. Also, they have ability to purchase, and also they are willing to spend now. They have money and they are willing to spend that money. That is why we can say this is one of the characteristics of what? Of market. So now we are saying also they have the ability to purchase. They have ability to purchase. Ability to purchase the products they need. Purchase the ability to purchase the products products they need. So they have to have ability to purchase. They have to have what? Money. That's what I was talking about. That is when you can say this is a market. Also, they are willing to spend money. Like I've said, they are willing to spend money. They are willing to spend money to buy products, or services, to satisfy their needs. So that is how we were supposed to attend this question. That is how we are supposed to attend this. So now let us move on. Now we are coming to 1.3. So 1.3 read as follows. Reference groups are likely to influence consumer behavior. Reference groups are likely to influence consumer behavior. Name and describe 4 types of reference groups. That is what we are expected to do. So now let us go straight to our answer book. Under 1.3. 1.3. So we are talk about the reference group. So the first one is membership groups. Membership groups. So membership groups, those are groups where a person has to obtain membership. Those are groups where a person has to obtain membership before belonging to group. Before belonging to group. So that is a membership group. So you have to be a member. You have to be to obtain membership before you can join what? A group. So that is that. You have to, for us to say you are a member, so you need to have obtained what? The membership. So that is that. You can talk about the clubs, ball clubs, they have those branches whereby now you are to obtain membership to be part of that club. So now let us move on. Now again we can talk about what? Another reference group which is called automatic groups. So with automatic groups to which person belong automatically as a result of his age, work relation, interest, or gender. So you are becoming automatically. So that is a group to which a person belong automatically. You belong automatically. Unlike membership, you need to obtain one membership. This one you automatically belong to that group. So that is why we're saying groups to which a person belongs automatically. Belongs automatically as a result of his age, of his or her age, gender, as well as you talk about work relation. So that one don't have choice. So as long as now you are in the age group or teenagers, you belong to that group automatically. Gender, you cannot have choice. You automatically belong to that group. You are a female, then it means you are in that group. You got no choice. So that is automatic groups. Now we have negative groups. Negative groups. So with negative groups, we are saying groups with whom the person would not like to be associated. Groups with whom the person would not like to be associated. Would not like to be associated. So that is a negative group. You have a negative feeling about such groups. You regard it as an incorrect association, so you don't want to be into a certain group. That is why we call it a negative group if you don't want to be part of such a group. Then we have associative group. Then we have associative group. Associative groups. Associative groups. These are groups to which a person is bound to belong. Groups to which a person inspires to belong. That is that. So this is how we are to answer that question. Now we are going to question 1.4. 1.4. So 1.4 is as follows. State 5 conditions for a successful trade to take place. For us to have a successful trade, state 5 conditions for successful trade to take place. So now let us go to answer it. Conditions of how a successful trade can take place. So now we are going to start by at least 2 participants must be present. At least 2 participants must be present. So for us to say this trade is successful, that is when we have buyer and seller. 2 participants must be present. That is when we can say this trade is successful. Each participant must own. Each participant must own something that the other party wants. Must own something that the other party wants. Something that the other party wants. So that is that. This participant must own something that the other party wants. So we know for sure that the buyer wants what? The goods, while the seller wants what? The money. So that is always in each party must have something that the other party wants. That is how it is. So another point, the participants must want to negotiate with each other. So participants must want to negotiate with each other. Participants must want to negotiate with each other. Participants must want to negotiate. So they should negotiate first. Each participant must be free to accept or refuse or offer. We are saying each participant each participant must be free to accept or refuse the offer. Or refuse the offer. So he has the right to refuse the offer. If he's not satisfied with the offer, he can refuse it. That is when you can say this is a successful trade, not to be to the seller to force him or her to buy a product. No, he or she has a right to refuse or to accept what the offer. That is that. These participants must be able to execute the order. Each participant must be able to execute the order. That is that. Also, the participants must partake willingly. The participant must partake willingly. Must partake willingly. Willingly. That is that. That is how we are to answer question 1.4. So now let us come to 1.5. Let us come to 1.5 as our last question, which read as follows. State four things that would increase cognitive dissonance. State four things that will increase cognitive dissonance. So we are to attend to that question. We are to attend to that question. So now we are here where we are to state and those dishonored order. So here we are going to talk, that is when the product is expensive. When the product is expensive. That is when we are asked to state factors that increases dissonance order. That is when the product is expensive. That is when there is a little difference. When there is little difference between the chosen product and the product that was not chosen. When there is a little difference between chosen product and the product that was not chosen. That was not chosen. When it is relatively important decision, when it is relatively important decision. Important decisions such as house Such as a house rather than a chocolate. Such as a house rather than um, a chocolate. So when it is relatively important decision, such as a house rather than a chocolate. That is A in this online spot. When there is a large number of alternatives to choose from, when there is a large alternative, well, there is a large number of alternatives, large number of alternatives to choose from. So this is how we can be able to increase cognitive dissonance. So that is all what we are expected to answer or to attend to these questions. So thank you very much for your time. Make sure that you are going to hit the subscription button and make sure that you're going to share with those who are concerned. Thank you very much.